Hello everyone, thank you so much for checking out this video, I very much appreciate it. Before we get into it, just a little housekeeping. If you guys like videos like this, make sure you check out my shorts compilations that I have on my channel and go ahead and check out all my other videos. So, let's get right into it. Griselda Blanco, the godmother of cocaine, the Black Widow. She's been getting a lot of attention lately due to her new Netflix series about her life. And I wanted to come out with this short video just to quickly recap basically the entire series, everything that went down, everything with her life, the interesting parts, and her rise and fall of her empire. So without further ado, I thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you guys like videos like this, subscribe, check out the other shit, and let's get right into it. Blanco was born February 15th, 1943. She obviously amassed a reputation as a giant cocaine kingpin, or queenpin if you want to put it like that, and someone not to be fucked with. But how did she get that reputation? Let's go ahead and unpack her story in a shortened version today. In order to do that, we got to start at a young age because she was fucking getting down and busy with it when she was 11 years old, reportedly. One story that we have from her youth was that when she was 11 years old, she helped kidnap a kid from a very rich family who they held for ransom for a few days. When the family refused to pay, she just shot the fucking kid and killed him. Her first murder at 11 years old. Pretty fucking crazy. Now, around the same time as this murder, before she was a pickpocket, and during and after the time of her first murder, she was also a prostitute. And, well, her being a prostitute, she found a lover very quickly. Now, this lover that I'm speaking of, she would eventually marry, and it wasn't too remarkable of a relationship, but it would give her 3 children who she would love more than anything in the entire world. She married a small-time criminal, Carlos Trujillo. Sorry if I fucked up that name, I'm trying to work on my pronunciations. But, like I said, that marriage did not last that long. It was quickly ended, they got a divorce, and she actually allegedly later went on to fucking kill him when she got a little bit more power. But so that basically was just the first 19 years of her life. Pretty fast, got 3 kids, got involved in some crime, not yet drug trafficking, and not yet building up her empire. But that's where the second marriage comes in. Now, this marriage was a lot more important. I say this because her marriage to Alberto Bravo was what got her introduced into narco trafficking. Now, this is where the Netflix show in real life differs a little bit. Unlike the show, she did not set up her operation in Miami, but rather New York first. But something the show did get right was how fucking smart she was. And I say this because she would employ mainly women. Sometimes pregnant women, but mainly women. And then what she would do was, instead of them having the drugs inside of their body, which could potentially lead to one of the bags bursting and them dying, she would have specially fitted a lingerie that they would wear, and they would keep the drugs in their lingerie in sewed-in sections. And when I say she would have coke sewn in, I mean like literally ounces of coke sewn into each fucking like bra pad and shit. It was pretty intense, and it was a great idea at the time because pre 9/11, getting drugs into the US was a lot easier to do with just putting it on your body. There were no real like x-rays or anything like that, and you could just kind of like walk onto a fucking plane and say, hey, I'm just here for a flight, I'm gonna come on, don't check my suitcase, have a great day. And Blanco would use this strategy for a pretty long time. It would gain her fame, reputation, and also it would make her one of the main players in New York in terms of bringing in coke in the 1970s. However, in 1975, Blanco did flee back to the Colombia in order to evade drug charges in New York. And 1975 was not a good year for Blanco because after fleeing back to Colombia, she found out that her husband, Alberto Bravo, who got her introduced into narco trafficking, was stealing money from her because she was a lot better at the gig than he was. And of course, Blanco had to confront her husband. This confrontation led to a shootout, and of course, Blanco walked out on top. She ended up killing her own fucking husband after he was stealing money from her. Now, this would go on to garner her the nickname the Black Widow. A little bit after this shootout, Blanco made her move back to the United States. This time, finally, she would set up in Miami, and she would finally be able to break that glass ceiling and become fucking infamous. But in order to achieve this, she had to take out her competition and her enemies. This is where the cocaine cowboy wars come in. Now, I will have a video on the Cocaine Cowboy Wars coming out a little bit later in the year, but basically it was Griselda and her team versus the Ochoas in a very, very bloody conflict for control over Miami and bringing in drugs to that location. It was a super crazy guerrilla war that was happening in the United States, in Miami. People were getting gunned down in fucking broad daylight. It was disgusting, it was crazy, and it was happening because Griselda was taking fucking Miami over. So, and around this time, her empire kind of peaked. At her peak, she was doing some impressive fucking numbers. She was bringing in around 3 tons of cocaine into United States per year, netting herself a nice little $80 million per year. If there's one thing she was good at, it was being a criminal. And let me tell you guys, she loved the criminal life. She loved everything about it. In fact, she loved it so much, she named one of her sons Michael Corleone after the fucking Godfather. But as Griselda learned earlier in her career, having this reputation and being the top boss comes with its disadvantages, and mainly it comes with a lot of fucking enemies. Due to this, she had to move to California for her own protection. Now, this move was pretty big because it wasn't just of her moving, it was her, basically the entire corporation hub. This occurred in 1984. And this is where you kind of realize that Griselda has terrible, terrible, terrible fucking luck, because although she was safe from her competition in 1985, while in Cali, she was arrested for those drug charges in New York all the way back from 1975, 10 years prior. And like I said, in 1985, she was found guilty and given the maximum sentence of 15 years. But wait a minute, it's not over yet. It gets pretty fucking crazy, so just hang on. And I say this because you can't keep a girl boss down. She was still running her empire behind bars, which is pretty fucking insane. And of course, while she was locked up, the feds kept trying to throw new murder charges at her. During this time, they tried to throw 200 murder cases at her. And in 1994, while locked up, things get much worse. I say this because a former hitman for Blanco ends up testifying against her that will link her to 3 murders. In 1998, 4 years after starting this whole entire murder bullshit because she got snitched on, she ended up pleading guilty for a shorter sentence. After being released from prison in the United States, she was deported back to Colombia. This was pretty fucking awful because all of the people that she killed had family that were still in Colombia or in the United States or wherever, but they were fucking looking for her, and now she was back in Colombia with very little protection. And unfortunately, this is where our story comes to an end, because in 2012, Griselda Blanco was gunned down after leaving a butcher shop in Medellin by a gunman on a motorcycle. To this day, no one knows exactly who put out this hit on this old woman. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about it. This, my friends, was a short recap of the story of Griselda Blanco from her early on childhood, her early criminal career, all the way up to her eventual demise and death. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you guys think that I missed any important parts. Like I said, this one was a short little recap. I tried to encompass everything that I could, though, with kind of keeping it within 10 minutes so that it was bearable. This was really the first long-form content video that I kind of sat down and recorded all at once. So, cut me some slack. Let me know what you guys think about it. I appreciate all of you. If you guys like content like this, go ahead and check out the other videos. I have a lot more mafia-related stuff than I do narco-related stuff, but more narco-related stuff is coming on the way. And like I said, if you guys think that I missed anything, or if you guys think that Griselda Blanco actually sucked, and if you guys think that I'm a fucking idiot and I have no idea what I'm talking about, just let me know in the comment section. I appreciate all of the constructive criticism. All of it is necessary and all of it is needed. Like I said, though, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.